I hear you all are in need of a storm analyst. Well, you're in luck. I saw that light show you put on back there, by the way. Righteous pyro. But I'm gonna do you one better.
Is that so?
Come see for yourself.
Hi, welcome back to episode 4 of From Tutorial to Twine. This time we're going to take on the Ride the Lightning mission. We're using base Kyle because it involves a defense. I'm just going to load straight into the mission.
We're here. What's your location, Lars?
Where else would I be? Hanging out in my lab, making groundbreaking discoveries.
We'll find you. So what have you turned up in your research?
Nothing but noise. Too much signal interference going on.
Tell me about it. Everything up to 3,000 gigahertz.
It's total chaos.
Exactly. And don't get me started on UHF.
Oh, ultra-high frequencies are getting brutalized.
It's like, where's the ionosphere?
I said the exact same thing. Look at that. I knew we'd make a good team.
It's not really a team. It's more of a me and the commander situation. No offense, it's just, that's how it's always been. Commander and Ray, saving the world, side by side.
It's cool, little robot, I get it. But you're gonna come around.
Okay, so a little bit of exposition there, introducing the character of Lars. So for this mission I'm going to need 4 blue glow, so I'm going to run around and collect that, and I'm also going to farm up a load of resources. So just running around, farming up resources, brick, metal, wood, looking for blue glow as I go round, rescuing survivors when I spot them, looking all the time for the van on the map.
I've located the launch site and added it to your map.
Okay, because I took a little bit too long finding it, the game is just going to help out a bit. As you can see on the mini-map now, I have the exclamation mark in the white circle. So I'm just going to open this chest and might make my way to the van. I find it best to do a whole bunch of farming in every single mission, just to keep all of the resources stocked up. And that way then I don't generally need to run missions specifically for farming.
That looks like a Lars to me.
Well, what do you think?
I think it's a van, Lars.
Hey, it's a state-of-the-art mobile storm analysis lab. And a van. Could be both. Look, I need your help. Can you hook me up with a better antenna? I can't go into the storm without those husks mobbing the van.
All right, Lars, I have an idea. I've prepared the van propulsion device. Deploy when you're ready, Commander.
Ray, it's a balloon.
It's a weather balloon.
Will it keep the van in the air?
We'll find out.
Good enough for me.
Add blue glow to prepare for liftoff.
Okay, so the van's going to get attacked by 2 different waves of husks, so I need to put walls all around it. And because I'm playing as construction, I can use my base, that will give 60 armor to all the walls, so I'll take less damage. And also because I'm using base Kyle, the walls will also have 28% more health, which makes them that little bit more difficult to break. I'm going to use brick for the walls, and I'm just going to use wood on the floor. Wood obviously a lot weaker than brick, but the husks won't be hitting the floor. And then I've got to decide on what traps to use. Now I don't have very many to pick from, as you can see, so I'm going to use these wall darts here, because the wall darts will shoot out before the husks get too close to the van, and hopefully not too many will make it to the van where they can do any damage. So you put the wall dart, as the name suggests, on the wall, but they have a range of 6 but a trigger range of 3, so any husks that walk within 3 tiles potentially can set the trap off, but they can damage husks up to 6 tiles away. I'm just clearing out just to make sure they have a clear line of sight, and now I'm going to do the first wave of the van. So I've used 2 blue glow in there, and as you can see the husks are all spawning over there. So what I'm going to do is put up a couple of extra walls, a couple more wall darts on them, just to thin out the amount of husks to get through. Now at this stage of the game I'm not going to get very many different types of husks. It's mostly going to be just these slow ones that walk up to the van. They're fairly easy to get rid of. Now what you can see there is my weapon durability is low. So a weapon has a certain amount of uses before it wears out. At the point at which it wears out, you have to create a new one from your schematics. You can do what's called modify the perks on the weapon to give it additional durability. But weapons are relatively inexpensive to craft and they last a decent amount of time. So for the most part you're not going to need to put a durability perk on a weapon. And we'll cover perks in more detail in a later video. So as you can see we've done over a minute, we're halfway through the first defence. None of the husks are particularly doing any damage to the structure, they're not getting really close enough. Most of them being killed by the traps before they come, so I'm going to use this opportunity to farm up a few more materials. Not straying too far away from the van just in case anything goes wrong, but I don't need to be right on top of it all of the time. Generally speaking, in a Ride the Lightning mission, the first wave is low level husks, and then the more dangerous types tend to spawn in the second wave. So I'm just going to use this opportunity to farm up a few more materials. And there we go. Now the husks are going to spawn from different locations. This time you can see that from the purple crescent on the mini-map. They're going to come up this set of steps here. Now most husks can't jump, so if you can't walk up without jumping, then the husks can't walk up there either, so you can use that to your advantage to force the husks to walk a slightly longer route. This is all to do with husk pathing. There's a certain amount of distance that a husk will walk off its main path before it gets annoyed and starts bashing its way through any block off you've got. And this second wave is 4 minutes, so it's longer than the first wave. First wave is around 3 minutes, the second wave is 4 minutes. And as you can see, the husks are quite happy to walk that little bit of extra distance to go around the side of that floor tile. I didn't need to build anything elaborate, no additional walls or anything like that, just that little floor piece there is forcing those husks to take a slightly longer route. Now, influencing husk pathing is really useful when it comes to building trap tunnels, and also if you want to do what's called stall build, which is where you essentially slow the husks down so that it takes them so long to get to your structure that by the time they've got there, they're almost ready to despawn. So here I've gone and placed another floor piece. I've edited it slightly to make the husks curve in a slightly different way. Now I potentially could edit floor pieces again to try and make the husks walk even further. But as you can see, they're all concentrated now into that little corner, so I can potentially stand here and just kill them as they come up. And then there's a few traps to help back me up. There, so if I edit the floor like this, the husks are then forced to walk a little bit further again. But that now means that they can walk straight up that ramp there, so in fact it's probably counterproductive to edit the floor like that, but with the floor edited like that, the wall darts, as you can see, can still shoot over the top of them, so it can be a useful way to add an extra layer in without blocking some of your traps. So I'm going to flatten that back down again. At this stage of the game, you'll find you're going to run low on ammunition a lot of the time. I would recommend bashing as many cars as you can see in every mission to get the nuts and bolts to use to make more ammo. And any machinery you see, any computers, any servers, anything like that, just bash them all, get the parts. Now you can see there my weapon ran out, the durability was low. The weapon ran out and I immediately swapped to another of the same type. This one's a stronger weapon, this one's power level 4. But as you can see, it's a relatively simple defence. The husks are all coming up the way that I want them to come. Most of them getting destroyed by traps. You'll notice the trap on this wall here has now disappeared. That's because it's run out. So just the same as weapons, traps have durability as well. And it would only be on traps that I would put durability perks. I wouldn't usually put durability perks on a weapon. Okay, we're in the last 10 seconds now.
Launch in 3, 2, 1, lift off!
There we go. And what's actually happened now is that balloon is fully inflated
Good job, team!
and taken off into the sky.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Quick, someone
As you
airbrush
can
that
see,
velvet!
it's way up there now.
Godspeed, Lars! May the King of Olympus guide your journey.
He always does!
So that's the basic premise of a Ride the Lightning mission. They all work in the same way. You collect some blue glow, you can defend the van for 2 waves. Obviously more complicated when you get to higher levels with different types of husks. And then we get our rewards for completing the mission. Plenty of battle pass XP, some gold, some hero XP.
Hey, Ray, we got some unexpected cloud phenomena around that shield of yours. I think it's destabilizing the storm. As long as that thing's running, you should be able to surrounding area.
Ooh, this gives me an idea.
Gives me an idea too.
Not a competition, Lars.
Fair enough, little robot. You go first.
And there we go, that's the mission complete. Thank you for watching, hope you found it useful.